Hello. The story of Hagar in the Bible always fascinated me because, biblically speaking, she was the first single mother. It is said that as an Egyptian princess in her own right, she was given to Abraham as a servant for his wife Sarah, in exchange for the God of Abraham not cursing the king and his kingdom for trying to take Sarah as his own. Whether this version is true or not, some of you can identify with what happened next. You're with someone who you come to love and respect, and at the end of the drama, you're left with this little bundle of life that you have to take care of. Consider the other woman. You are tossed aside with next to nothing but empty promises and heartache, and try to find your own way, often on your own. Yes, you and I know how that feels. I promise to dig deeper into this story in future shows. The most wonderful thing about this story is that God kept a promise he made to her. Her son Ishmael became a great hunter warrior and a king in his own right. And she lived a long life and still is talked about to this day. I'm not saying that any of us single moms will go down in history, but I believe we can make history for ourselves. Welcome to the Sisters of Hagar podcast. This is a podcast specifically for unwed Christian parents as a means of providing biblical and practical support. It's been a dream of mine since I became a single parent myself 20 some years ago. And my goal is to fill in the gaps both mentally and physically that get overlooked on this journey. I want to add that my use of disciple of Christ signifies one who is committed to following the Lord and his teachings and goes beyond just church attendance. I may use Christian and disciple interchangeably, but the intent is to a lifestyle and worldview and not a label. There will also be guests from a variety of backgrounds who will share their insights and lessons they've learned. The blog is Sisters of Hagar 777 at blogspot.com, and there you will find a detailed study and observation about the Sarah, Abraham, and Hagar story found in Genesis, and additional posts to supplement the podcast as well. The blog is called Sisters of Hagar 777 at blogspot.com. And there you will find a detailed study and observations about the Abraham, Sarah, and Hagar story found in Genesis, as well as additional posts to supplement the podcast and links to other resources and helpful information. Now, I will admit that I'm not perfect, nor do I know everything about everything. However, I've learned a few things that helped me on this journey that I want to share. We'll laugh, we'll cry, we'll celebrate one another, and we'll heal. But most of all, the goal is to raise amazing children and create abundant lives for our families. Some of the topics addressed will be faith and discipleship, parenting and setting appropriate boundaries, setting goals and priorities, budgeting and finance, dating, what to look for and what you offer, and many other subjects. I'm always open to suggestions from you, the audience, and from your areas of struggle or the achievements that you've overcome in your journey. Sisters of Hagar podcast can be found on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Thank you. See you soon.